What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Dr. Splash, and today we begin our descent into the madness that is our Halloween/October video schedule. Every day will be something horror, sci-fi, or Halloween theme based from fiction, mostly comics, of course, because that's primarily what we cover on the channel. But of course, I'll be branching out to a lot more things. And why not start that off with Dormammu versus Trigon? These are two Hellords, one from Marvel, one from DC, who, quite frankly, both are kind of affiliated and associated with jobbing. If you don't know what jobbing means, it means you kind of lose to put other characters over or to make them look stronger. So if these two jobbing Hellords were to clash, who would win? Thank you for the sponsorship of this video. Make sure to run the likes up if you're excited for Halloween content, and let me know what you want to see for spooky season, or if you want to sponsor something spooky season related. With that being said, let's get into it. Now, first up, we're going to talk about Dormammu. Now, Dormammu, again, is one of the Hellords of Marvel, but he does have his own unique backstory in that he's a part of an ancient celestial race called the Teens. The Teens are based on older Eldritch-like magic. They use a darker magic of the verse, which is why you typically see Dormammu as a threat affiliated and associated with the magic users of the Marvel multiverse. These are the beings that are in place to stop something like the Teens from encroaching upon them. Dormammu, as a Teen, resides in Marvel as one of the many Hellords and even has his own realm called the Dark Dimension. Now, this Dark Dimension is a manifestation of Dormammu's will and his power itself. And this is very important because it expresses just how strong he truly is. This is a dark dimension that is beyond time, space, all dimensions, and beyond any descriptor the human language could possibly be used to describe a place. Now, the reason that's important for scaling is we use descriptors to describe things within creation, right? Time, space, dimensionality, existence, creation, all those are descriptors. The dark dimension is beyond all that from a technical standpoint. So you really can't actually comprehend it with the human mind. We just do our best to describe what we think we can conceptualize it as. So this just shows how strong something conceptually like Dormammu is. On top of this, we've seen him throughout the years have many incredible battles. Back in ancient times, he battled the likes of Eternity, even managing to stalemate an embody of Eternity. He's taken on Doctor Strange on several occasions. Is typically significantly stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme. He's just kind of a fucking idiot, so he gets dunked on sometimes by Strange. But power-wise, well beyond any of the magic users, just in terms of raw power. We also saw recently that Doom Supreme got rid of all the heroes on Earth, and that is when Dormammu launched a surprise attack on Earth, nearly killing the Doom Supreme, forcing him to bring all the heroes back, which is stupidly impressive, as this is a super amped version of Doctor Doom. Now, we've got Dormammu out of the way. We've covered the Team, this ancient magic Hellord, but who is to say is the king of Hellords, right? Is it Dormammu? Is he the king of the jobbing Hellords, or is it Trigon? Now, Trigon is a character who I've had a hilarious relationship on the channel with because I find his jobbing to be funny as fuck. I think Trigon lore is interesting anyway. I did a video on his lineage before, talking about how he could be on Jerry Springer. But as a Hellord, he was basically conceived of conceptual evil. That is, he literally came into existence because of an amalgamation and an accumulation of evil. After forming and terrorizing universes, going around almost like a universal conquistador, just kind of raising up his evil shit, Trigon would grow and continue to rise in power, becoming one of the more prominent Hellords in DC, even having his own realm. But perhaps what's even more impressive about Trigon, while we have the Dark Dimension to express and describe the true power of Dormammu and the expression of his true power, for Trigon, we kind of use his children as that benchmark. Some of his children for reference and how fucking strong they are. Belial or Belial, he was capable. This is a Hellord level being that can literally kill angels. Also was a threat to Phantom Stranger, his other sons and friends, capable of doing the same thing. It's pretty crazy. And then, of course, famously, Raven. Raven being someone who is capable of taking on Trigon, even defeating him, and she has a form in unkindness that can essentially threaten all of DC's creation. She's absolutely broken. Also, sort of like Dormammu, he's heavily attached to magic. On the magic side, for reference, with him being attached to the likes of Etrigan and Merlin, which is very impressive given Merlin's one of the strongest DC magic users. Now, in terms of what he's been up to, we obviously know Trigon for his famous clashes with other Hell Lords, with his clashes with the forces of Earth. He's considered typically to be on a level of Spectre power-wise. And most recently, he came back in the Titans books, took out all the heroes on Earth, and was only stopped when Raven had to come in clutch, as she's kind of like a hard counter to him. So, if we were to take Trigon, the King of Hell, the father of Raven, the Bane of the Titans, is he enough to take on the Faultine King, my boy Dormammu? Let's get into it though. First of all, smash the like button if you love battles like these. If you're a fan of the Hell Lords colliding, I think thematically, out of all the Hell Lords between Marvel and DC, I think this matchup makes some of the most sense out of the ones you can make. I think they have a lot of similarities, a lot of things in common, a lot of tropes, how they're used archetypally in stories too. I think there's some similarities. I do think Trigon tries to seek the higher authority as a Hell Lord more, but Dormammu's constantly trying to take Earth and trying to take creation, so they do have that dominating factor, both of them. And they're very interesting. They're fun reads. They just are. Like, any event with Dormammu and Trigon typically is a fun read. Like, if you historically go look back at events involving them, you likely enjoyed those stories, which I think is a big deal with a cosmic villain. So, with that out of the way, with me kind of describing how I feel about the characters, how do I think it actually plays out if these two clash? I actually slightly favor Trigon. I think his recent dubbing of all the heroes of DC Earth, like, kind of just full flexed on them, including, you know, obviously current Superman. That's problematic. That's crazy scaling. Like, if Dormammu was to pull up and have casually folded, like, Immortal Thor, Fractured Hulk, current Scarlet Witch, current Storm, like, all those characters on Earth, you know, we would be having a different fucking conversation. But we know Doom Supreme's not even above current Storm, so, you know, I digress. But my point with that is, I do think Trigon's recent big flex is a little more impressive than Dormammu's recent big flex. I can understand why you were impressed with Dormammu, but Dormammu also prepped for that. I just think in terms of raw power and accolades, I do think Trigon would take it. I think he might even intimidate Dormammu a little. He's a better trash talker than Dormammu. Dormammu sometimes gets dunked on by other cosmic beings. It took him a while to get to that point to challenge Eternity. He was shook for a little bit. And he was a little shook when Galactus came to his hood too, and then he got bopped. I don't think it'd be as bad as Galactus event, like when Galactus thugged him, but I do think Trigon is strong enough. They have similar power sets, so it ultimately kind of leans with who do you think's stronger, because the versatility is kind of the same on both ends. I would probably lean Trigon. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think Trigon currently takes it, or are you leaning with the Faultine Dormammu? Let me know in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully I can get another spooky battle out today. But yeah, worst case, you'll see one tomorrow. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, it's Yancey Street, bitches.